A quick good idea, bad idea before.
Yeah,
we're good.
We're good. We're
Okay.
in.
Yeah, you're,
All right,
you're eager, so I'm down. I'm always ready when you got it queued up.
All right, have a bunch of people, like awesome people, come together for a burger benefit.
Okay.
That's the good idea. The bad idea is be the person who mispronounces the most famous person's name the entire day and not realize it until the next day.
Was that you?
Maybe.
That's unfortunate.
You know what? You gotta roll with the punches and take blame when it's yours. But I just thought it would be a good laugh, at least for me, to own up to oh yeah, it's one of those things where you go oh yeah, the 3 O's.
Yeah, I've been there. Definitely been there. It's not on the mispronunciation of the names, where you're like, oh, this is. So here's a little backstory on Sheed. I am still a local 479. Shout out all my juicers, grips, and everyone in between. So in case this barbecue thing doesn't work out, you can see me laying gack for a mile and a half all around Atlanta. My very first day on set was for a pilot during pilot season for the show that actually ended up getting picked up. I think the working title of it doesn't matter now, but it was called Hindsight. And my first day on set happened to be, the show's premise was it was about semi-look into union work and one of the producers and all that jazz. So everyone looked the same, whether you're actual union or if you're talent or stand-in. So I was instructed over walkie that, hey, we're just doing a run through. We're just double checking cables and everything. Fine. I didn't get my moniker as yet, so it was just, hey, she'd hang out here and check it, make sure everything's good, check the panel box, we got juice. Got it. I didn't realize, a minute and a half later, plans had changed and they'd gone into a take. So I'm just there standing in my position, checking the box like I'm supposed to, like I was told. Didn't realize they were running footage. And I was on film they thought I was an extra in the show. And I'm like, no, I'm actually union. He's like, yeah, that's great, man. It's like, no, I'm actually.
You're really into character. I
yeah.
like it.
I was like, no, this is my first day, type of thing. And so I think on one of the cut edits, you can just see a rather large. I was bald back then, believe it or not, guys. I didn't always have locks. I was bald. I was running the 1159 Mr. Clean look, and you can see this giant Jamaican oak tree without any leaves on them, just standing out in the corner in the back of the scene. Just.
I was gonna say that was back when it was no locks, no beard.
Yeah, I was smooth, straight milk dud. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to This Week in Barbecue, the barbecue-focused podcast that brings you both the good, the bad, and everything in between in the world of barbecue. I'm your host, Rasheed Phillips, and joining me as always is amazingly talented, and you really need some rest. You got some bags on here, brother.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Mr.
Brian Hull, American dumbass.
I like the troublemaker version better, but when
you own up to it, you just own up to it.
Yeah, there it is. If you're gonna step in shit, step in both feet.
Yeah.
And the voice you hear and the face you still do not see, Mr.
Lee Garmin.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have an amazing show prepared for you all today. We've got some recaps, some news, some Q&A, and you guys have really been enjoying us calling in and talking with these different people. We discussed their amazing pit last week, so we're actually going to speak with Mike from M&M Barbecue Co. Shout out to the whole fam over there. M&M, thank you guys, as always, truly, for taking care of Pops the way you guys have been, and y'all are on an amazing roll. We're happy to be a part of it. But yeah, let's see if we can't give Mike a little jingle here. See what he's up to. I don't know. Have you seen some of their rigs?
Yeah, I mean, I saw. God, who was the one that they basically named it after the Mandalorian?
Oh, the El Rey?
No, the Silvercrest.
That one. Who? I don't know who got that.
I want to say it was. I'll look it up.
Yeah. You do that, and I'll do this on my end.
I know Fox Brothers just got a really nice looking.
Yeah, the first M&M.
You've reached Michael with M&M Barbecue Company.
Yeah. This is the part where you
I'll
answer
get back
the phone.
to you as soon as possible.
Yeah. They're busy right now. They had to make a post today about people contacting them just about the Goldie's Pit.
Oh yeah, I can imagine because it's blown up. I was talking to him yesterday. He's like, "Can we push it to next week? You know, we're going to be with. They got this stuff to knock out for Mo. Shout out to Big Mo. I'll see you in a week, brother." I was like, "I will be there with Mo." So I mean, we could talk to him.
Hellberg got the Silver Crest.
Very nice.
Yeah,
very nice. We should do like a Heisenberg burger.
NFA has one.
They have a Heisenberg burger?
They have a Heisenberger. Hatch green chilies.
Oh.
And they flip the buns and toast the inside of the bun so it's reversed.
Who is it?
So it's Hatch green chilies and mustard.
Smoke. My buddy Chiles and Smoke. He released a book. Brad, shout out to Brad. He's doing a donut burger series right now. That I'm just like, this is getting up there. It's inspiring me. I wanted to get
Mike.
So Luther, right? He's doing the Luther.
Luther Vandross. Hey brother, how you doing? Oh, let me get you tuned in here. I think it might have bumped you. There we go. Now I can hear you.
Oh yeah, I can hear you much better now.
Perfect.
Much better.
How are you, my man?
I'm doing fantastic, brother. We are working hard. I was in the shop when you called, so I don't get very much service in there. So I stepped out and I got the call. I was like, oh, let's go.
No, I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it, man. So for those who are listening, because you guys are live now, please take a minute and introduce yourself.
Oh, yeah. I'm Mike Miller with M&M Barbecue Company, and I have Matt here with me.
Yep, this is Matt Sutton, M&M Barbecue Company. What's going on, Rashid?
How you doing, brother? We have not yet had the pleasure in person, but I can't wait to shake that hand, my friend. Thank you.
Yes, sir. The time will come.
So much. I was literally just saying how much I appreciate and love the work. I was a fan beforehand, but always loved the work and how you guys have taken care of Pops. You know, the rig just looks absolutely beautiful. You guys have been knocking it out the park constantly. We talked about your new rig with Goldies, and we had so many people asking questions. I was like, well, we might as well go right to the source and talk to the amazing guys behind it, you know?
Yeah, heck yeah. Perfect.
Right on, brother. So let's start there. How did you guys get into this world, into this realm of not necessarily being the cooks, but building the pits that some of the most amazing food in the world is being cooked on?
Yeah, so I'm a second generation. I've been around barbecuing pretty much my entire life, but on the fabrication side, on the repair side, and all that stuff, I've been doing that for a really long time. My dad has actually been repairing smokers for 30 plus years.
Wow.
So I grew up. I remember going on service calls with my dad when I was a young kid. Young kid. And so I've been doing that day to day for around, 15, 16, 17 years now. I've traveled all over the nation working on them. I know the ins and outs of, a lot of units. So, like, it's been ingrained in me for a really, really, really long time. So it's been wonderful. It's been great seeing just the boom of barbecue, and something that's been near and dear to my heart, that I've done, every day for so long, and then my dad as well. It's just been wonderful. So that's what got me into the building side and the repair side and all that stuff. So we were really quiet, and that's what we did for a really long time. And then my best friend Matt, we've known each other 30 years now, so we're pretty much inseparable. So I'll go ahead and let him tell you his story.
Yeah, so it's really, we've talked about it a few times. M&M's kind of the perfect storm him and I put together. We've known each other since we were 10 years old. Went to elementary school, middle school, high school, and college together. And in college time was really when I was a little bit around his dad and doing service work and restaurants and all that. And I actually ran a kitchen for about 4 years in college. And I decided after college I wanted to work with my hands. So I went to a tech school, and I wanted to build custom cars for a living. So that landed me in California for about 7 or 8 years building, custom cars, one-offs, at the highest level. And already kind of having that background, wanting to get out of California and get back home, Mike and I just never lost touch and put our heads together, man, and put barbecue, the history, the knowledge combined with the fabrication side and skill, and here we are.
No, I absolutely love that. Just the long friendship. I've got one here in the studio with me that when you have them, it's good. You can't shake them if you wanted to, nor would you ever want to. But I love that it's just second generation. You follow the trade. You built upon that. And the first thing that comes to my mind, I'm sure Brian's got some questions too, but the first thing that comes to my mind with hearing that, Mike, is, do you think the decades really you spent repairing rigs helped give you a leg up in designing the models that you're making now?
Absolutely. Because, I was able to see things that, firsthand problems. Because I was able to repair them and see, I would be able to go in and go, okay, this isn't working. That isn't working. We can improve this. We can make this better. We can make this better. I think with that history and be able to go in and do all that, it's tremendously helped, because there's certain things that we know that we're just like, that we already know that that's just not going to work. Yeah, it sounds great, looks good on paper. It's like we can get people excited with it, but at the end of the day, we want it to be functional. We want functional art. We want, when you buy an M&M, you're like, man, this is the baddest pit out there. But we also work on function. We have the history, so we're like, this is going to work. This we know will. So like that's given us a huge leg up from everybody else, because a lot of people, they never really were into building pits. They never really were into that stuff. Whereas I've been around that for so long. I was able to take all that knowledge and bring that to all our new pits. And then with me and Matt working together with his expertise, we, again, like you said earlier, we're a perfect storm. We have all this history and knowledge, and then we bring that with the fabrication side. And that's what's kind of pushing us forward. We don't like to stay at a rest. We want to keep going and get better and better for our customers. If we can solve our customers' problems, which is what I came across of when I was doing repair work, I could see the problems that the customers have. And so what we did is like, what are the main things that we can fix on our units, whether it be an offset, whether it be a rotisserie, whether it even be a backyard? How can we fix these problems for these customers to create the perfect pit?
Mike, do you mind if I jump in real quick about solving customers' problems, even if they're not your own?
Yeah.
No, the first time I've ever come across M&M, I was at Sox Love, and their pit went down, their J&R oiler. And was it you, Mike, that just hit up Steven out of nowhere and walked him through how to repair that pit?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep. He called me. And yes, I help. I've had people call, with J&Rs. I've had people call with Southern Pride, and we're here to help. And, he got my number from another guy out of Pennsylvania that actually just got one of our pits. Wonderful, wonderful guy. And so I helped. He had the same problem, and he called me. He's like, I can't get help. I don't know what to do. I'm down, and I've been down for a long time. And I think it was like 6:30, 7 o'clock, in the evening, they called me. And I diagnosed it, had the part to him the next day, and then he was able to run, be able to start running the next day. We next day aired the part to him. And then that's how Steven from Sox Club, he got a hold of me. So yeah.
Yeah, like I was just, like, it's a great story because you guys, like I said, you're helping people even when it's not like your product. You guys are so invested in the community and making sure that everything works. And it also goes back to your years of actually fixing these things and working on them, so you know the ins and outs.
Yep. Yeah, when you're in the back of a restaurant, for 20 plus years, and that's really all you're doing. You just see what goes wrong, what causes stress, what causes people to lose sleep, what makes them lose money in their business. And, the core focus of what M&M is about is solving our customers' problems. But, we like to call it functional aesthetics. We like to look good while we're doing it. We have our unique style. But the core focus of anything is, how can I save you money? How can I let you get home to your wife more? How can you sleep more and not have to be up all night? So, what you were alluding to, the firsthand experience of actually talking with managers and GMs and pitmasters that run restaurants and really get to see what the problems are. And that's the first thing we attack with whatever we're building.
And I'd have to say that it goes without showing in the level of detail and craftsmanship that you guys put into everything. And I swear it's like every other day. You guys are basically like the Skittles of builders. Like the rigs are just these amazing colors, and every day they're just rolling out to all over the place. And thank you for blessing Georgia with one of the units. The first big boy M&M here is over at Fox. Shout out to Justin and the whole crew over there. We're really excited. I can't wait. Whenever we decide to open up doors, we definitely know what we're cooking on.
And we'll be here for you too. Yeah, we're super excited to finally get to Georgia. We've been wanting for a long time getting Atlanta. So when we established relationship again, we just met and talked and all that, and then that that relationship bloomed, and then we talked more about it, and then we were able to build them a pit, and we're honored to be able to work with some of these pit masters and some of these guys that they choose our equipment. It's an honor for us, and that each build that we do for each one of them, we try to make something unique to theirs, and just try to make the best product for them. Because even we were talking about working on other people's equipment and helping those guys out and stuff like that. It's all if they can't make money and they can't survive, because this pit is down, then they're not going to be able to keep going. They're not going to be able to keep paying their bills, and that's not good for anybody. That's not good for me. That's not good for for them. And we're all community. Barbecue is different than any other thing that you can look at, any other food, because we are a huge community. We try to help each other out, and it becomes a brotherhood. I mean, it's wonderful.
No, I wholeheartely agree, and everyone, the media and what have you will have it the top list this, the top that. It's a community first, not a competition. And even perfect example of when we linked up at Holy Smokes, we just had a great chat, had a wonderful conversation. It's anything I can do, I'd love to meet so great, it's done. Hey, let's make it happen. Let's let other people know how dope and amazing you are. I think we even FaceTime Pops that day too, so we could see and chat with everybody. And it's barbecue, I think, is really one of those realms where at a moment's notice, if anyone's in need, like we all come together and help in any way, shape, or form that we can. I love it. I love the community. I love that you guys are part of it. And I know you guys are pressed for time, and we had some questions, and I want to ask them in regards to the new rig that you guys worked on with Goldies. Tell us a little bit about that. We caught a little snippet of the recap video and the explanation video and why the design. We spoke on it last episode, and I guess they heard us because immediately after they went out and filmed a biscuit test on it. So tell us about thanks for listening, guys, and thanks for the invisible shout out. We know where you heard it from. But how was it doing that rig? How you saw that design come across, and you're just like, was it a head tilt? What was it, a head scratcher? Like, how did that go about?
I'll be honest with you. I initially saw it and thought it was unique. So this is going to definitely, it's going to be a conversation piece for one. Like the old saying I've always said, you can be the juiciest peach in the world, and some people just don't like peaches. And some people are going to hate it. Some people are going to love it. And once we got done through it, it's not 99% Goldies and their design. He left us creative freedom for the stand and hinges and small things, but other than that, the whole flow and how he wanted it to work with Goldies. And when it was done, man, it looks cooler in person than it does in picture. It really has like a 20s log cabin wood furnace feel from behind. It looks cool, man.
Yes, it does.
When we finished it, when we were building it, we were talking about it. Again, Johnny approached us like, "Hey, would you be willing to do this?" And he's like, "I've had this design in my head for a long time." And we're like, "Hey, let's see what we can do." So he actually sent me a sketch on, a small out sketch. This is the kind of design. So we put it in our computer, and we're like, okay, let's see. And, but like Matt was saying, it was like 99% their design. And when we finished that thing, I can tell you right now, me and him both looked at it and go, this looks bad. It looks awesome in person. We actually had a few people stop by the shop that saw in the bay windows in the bay and stopped by and like, are y'all selling those? They didn't know who Goldies was. They didn't really know who we were, but they just liked the style. I mean, it really looks really cool in person.
No, it looks cooler.
It flows too. I mean, if you think of the product, the amount of product that thing holds is amazing. And I think that biscuit test really, really showed how much you can do. I mean, that I think was a complete win. And I believe that's really great too, is extremely transparent. When Johnny sent me the video, I go, the one thing I love about this is it's transparent. You're not trying to hide anything. Mm-hmm. This is at 300 degrees, and that thing has 54 biscuits on it, and only 4. Like, that is money.
Yeah, and you look at it and you see just that one spot, and that visual is paramount for what we do, because I tell people after they finish seasoning their rigs, I said the first thing you need to do is go get you a bunch of biscuits and run a biscuit test, because once you get that image burned in your head, it expedites your entire cooking process and knowing your rig. Like, you have to know how your rig flows, where the spots are, where it's cooler, because it will stop you from making amateur mistakes during your cooks.
One thing about the design that I just thought about now is I don't think you can have a grease fire in that thing.
Someone will find a way.
Someone will find a way. But if you properly maintain it, I don't think you can have a grease fire in that thing.
Someone who knows what they're doing. We couldn't cause a grease fire, but brother, how many videos? There are millions of turkey videos every year, and what do people do? They buy the container. It has visuals. It has a video. It has step-by-step
Don't drop in a
instructions,
frozen turkey.
And they still burn their house down. Someone will find a way.
Yeah, we've been doing service for a long time. You'd be amazed at some of the things you see in some restaurants. Like, man,
if you just cleaned it a little bit, but yes, with the way that
we know all about barbecue restaurants not cleaning their rigs.
Yeah.
It's in some cases it's scary, but but yeah, so with that fire being away from it, that does help a ton. It helps a lot.
You've got a good, I don't know off top, but at least the opening, where it comes in is at least, you'd have to have 8, 9, 10 inches of grease in the bottom of that thing for it to get up there.
Don't even try and someone will do it.
Someone will challenge it. Someone out there, and then they'll say they built it wrong. No.
Yeah, you just gave them a challenge. It's the 10-inch grease challenge.
So someone out there is going to listen to this and is going to say, "Hold my beer."
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Disclaimer: M&M does not recommend you fill your tank with oil.
Yeah, with grease.
Yes, please.
Clean and maintain your pit, please.
It's so important. So we'll see if they listen to this part and make a video behind it. But after they use it, I think it would be very pertinent for them to document the first cleaning and the process of it to show the ease of use and just really give them a full tour and once over, because it's an amazingly well designed rig that was absolutely built to perfection. And I think it's a game changer. I think it's one of those that sort of put a lot of other builders on notice a little, like, oh, okay, because everyone's been sort of basically building off the same 2-3 designs for a while, but that's different. That one is very, very different. I hope they put a patent on it.
I think that's in the process. It really is, because on our offsets, I think we have 2 or 3 on ours.
Yeah.
So,
and you guys are doing one on the cantilever for the El Rey units as well. I saw on the video. Yeah.
Yep.
Very nice design.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, we love that design, and we never saw one ever once. So. We spend a lot of time, me and Matt, it's not just overnight. Even like our firebox on our 1,000 gallons and 500 gallons, that was not an overnight thing. That's 2-3 years of constant changing, constant adapting, and we're sitting there and it could be a 1/4 inch difference, but we'll look at it and we'll go, man, I want to go 1/4 inch or 2 inches, we have 6 inches of insulation all the way around our 1,000 gallon fireboxes now, so every piece is really thought of, and it takes time. And, at some point you have to kind of protect, all that time and money that we have invested into these things.
Yeah, no, I agree, because if not, people steal your idea and they can push a lot more behind it. And you're like, guys, it's a lot of trial and error, a lot of man hours, just a lot of heart as well goes into these rigs. So it doesn't just start as a sketch and doesn't end where it goes to the customers, the follow through that you guys do. And I'm a huge believer, so much so it's our actual motto for Phillips Barbecue Co. is, when you put your name on something, you got to stand by it. And,
Yep.
It's a beautiful thing, guys. I truly appreciate you all taking the time. For the listeners, how can they get in touch with you guys? How can they get on that 27-year wait list that I'm sure is very much accumulated right now?
How many people have reached out? Do you even have a count?
Oh,
They're still
man.
counting. They're still counting.
It's still, I mean, hundreds and hundreds. It's been, at first I didn't know, we kind of were, we were kind of, me and Johnny were talking about it. We really wasn't sure, but once we even just launched the thing, it has just hundreds and hundreds. We had so many people, emailing us and texting and calling that we put that disclaimer out. Well, not disclaimer, but hey, we put something out on Instagram yesterday and Facebook going, hey, we're trying to siphon through all this stuff. We haven't launched it on our website yet. But Tina, my wife, came up today and she's like, the emails are still pouring in. She's like, and I was like, well, just we'll get the website, should be done at the end of this week, and then we're just going to launch it and just, do the best we can. But yes, hundreds have.
Love it. It is so well deserved, and it's the start of so much more for you all. In so many ways, I know we've got some fun stuff we've been kicking back and forth, and I absolutely love to see this happen for you guys. Couldn't happen to a better set of guys, better hardworking, dedicated to the craft, and not just in it for monetary reasons, but genuinely care to propel and change how barbecue has been done. And rigs and designs and builds such as the ones you guys are cranking out, M&M is definitely going to be that household name in the world of Rolling Smoke.
And you guys just let me know whenever that sausage cooker gets done.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on it.
Yeah. Well, we actually might have something in the works on a sausage cooker. So we might have something going on with that in the near future. So a little wink, wink on that one.
Yeah. We're also just to help a little bit. Hopefully, we're doing some serious research and making some moves on shop side and fabrication side to speed up to cut that wait list down.
Yeah.
It's already past where we want to be, so we're hustling on it. It's just good problems to have, but it's a problem, that's for sure.
Yeah, when we didn't feel like when we do this again, we care about the customer. A customer cannot wait 2 years. A customer cannot wait a year and a half. That's a long time to wait. And for us, we know that, and it's like we've got to speed up. Which right now our offsets are a year plus now, and that's with us working 70+ hour weeks. We work every Saturday, dang near every Sunday. So like we're trying, and now we're just going to try to hone it in better. We'd love to get it around 6 months or less. That'd be a wonderful, wonderful goal. And we will. We're going to. And we're thankful for our customers that have waited over a year for their pit, and been super patient with us. We really appreciate that.
Hey, I've been on lists. I've waited 2 years for a rig. Heck, it takes 6 months to build a Rolls Royce, so it's one of those things. It's definitely one of those things. And you really can't rush it. And like, hey, if you want it, this is the wait. And I oftentimes, and we've talked about it before, sometimes the wait is the best thing that can happen to you, because you realize your wants and needs may change. You realize what you truly want. You have time to think about it. It's not an impulse buy, So never apologize for that wait. And those who see and understand the value, they are more than happy to. It's worth it. I'd be happy to wait 2 years for it, because I know when I get it that it wasn't rushed. That because I've gotten rigs. And Lee will tell you, there's a rig in my backyard that has been sitting there for 3 years.
Close to.
Wow.
3 years, almost 4 years. That has never had as much as a candle lit inside of it, because it was such a horribly rushed deal that I'd never use it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and it's so bad. I mean, shelves are uneven. There are jagged ends from welding wire everywhere. It's not. Yeah, it's fine from far away. Like it's a good 60-footer. You're like, oh, not bad. You get up close.
Yeah.
Like, this is horrible.
Yep.
This is god awful. Like a stack of dime. beads that you want for welding, yeah, mine looks like someone threw a bunch of Uno cards all over the room. It's
Definitely
horrible.
falls under unfinished.
Yeah, it is bad, and that thing has never gotten a flame and never will. But I keep it there as a reminder that though in the same community, though in the same world, not everything's made the same.
I love that.
Yeah. But fellas, thank you again. What are the socials? Send us the socials, the sites. Where can people go see your amazing stuff and support you?
Yeah, so on Instagram, TikTok is MM Barbecue Company, and our website is mmbarbecuecompany.com.
Perfect. We will drop that along with some links to the amazing recap videos, some showing the El Rey and this new amazing Goldie's Pit in the show notes. Matt, Mike, absolutely appreciate you guys jumping on, and love the hard work. We'll catch up soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Take
Not a
care.
problem. Thanks, guys, for coming on.
All right. Thank you.
You know now you have to make a video of cooking on that pit, right?
I've legitimately.
No, you don't. It's,
I've never used it.
No. Like you have to make a video. You'd have to start
The
from
thing
60
is-
feet out.
The thing,
I don't even know that you.
I've legitimately never used it. You know what I use it for? To store my cast iron. I have never put a fire in it.
No, I'm saying it would make great content.
Oh, I'm sure it would make great content, but my time is more valuable than burning that.
Just turn it into a propane grill.
I'll turn it into a pellet
or
smoker.
we could instead of pimp my ride, pimp my smoker. Save a smoker.
I should. You know,
We'll send it over to Eminem.
Mike,
See if we
Matt,
can
if
fix
you
it.
guys are listening, I'm going to ship you guys a smoker, and I need you to fix it, bring it back to life, dismantle it all. You know, it needs.
Is Exhibit doing anything these days?
I don't know. We should check. Like, hey, Exhibit, can we've got an idea we want to run by you. Just hear me out. Hear me out. See if it works out for you. No, but thank you guys again. The amazing guys, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we were just finished having a wonderful conversation with Mike and Matt of M&M Barbecue Company, based out in Texas. Check them out. They're doing absolutely amazing things, worth the wait. But let's get into some of these news. You, sir, first and foremost, had an event. Well, numerous, but the hat event is what I'm talking about.
Okay, the NFA Burger Billy Kramer threw on what he called the Burger Benefit to raise money for the Giving Kitchen. So that was this past Sunday.
And those who don't know what the Giving Kitchen is.
It is an organization that helps restaurant workers and their families across the country, whether it's a restaurant closing or medical issues. It was started by wasn't it the owners of Staple House?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was like 20 plus chefs all came and did their version of the menu burger. So the burger from the menu, the movie The Menu, yeah. So the base components, it had to be a double stacked cheeseburger with onions and pickles, and then you could go from anywhere from there. So there was a lot of cool burgers, but they so far they've raised almost $45,000, and there's still a donation going up. And I know Billy wants to hit 50,000, so we'll throw the link up to the donation.
We will.
But some highlights. First of all, like I've been meaning to get out. The thing is, when we're up, I always have pop-ups on Saturdays. You're out of town doing an event on Saturdays. Actually, you were in town this weekend doing an event on a Saturday.
I was doing events all weekend. We hit a good bit of Atlanta. We hit a good bit of Georgia this past weekend. Next up, Colorado. Then next week we're in good old Memphis, and then the week after that, production changed. So supposed to be a treaty, but the production schedule for filming changed. So I'll be in Texas, but I'll be in a different side of Texas. Then after that, it's back to Tennessee for the 4th and the 5th and the 6th. And then right after that, back out to Seattle. We're in Seattle for a week. And then after Seattle, funny enough, back to filming in Texas. And after Texas, then I get to go up. Then it's up north to
You want to just print the calendar for everybody?
It's a lot. It's we're moving. We're moving as well. It's idle hands, all that jazz. But no.
Well, what I was gonna say is like we don't get a lot of chances to go when if someone has a special on a certain day. We don't get a chance to go. So Fox Brothers has always had their burger special on Saturdays.
Yeah.
So this is the first time I got to try. They do their own homemade tallow buns, and that
I like tallow
that is a
buns.
really good burger bun, as I'll say.
Okay.
Then Josh Ennis of CAB, Certified Angus Beef, he was there. I already forgot the term that we talked about before the show. Like I'm holding it up. What is the
Roulette.
Yeah, he made a roulette of bone marrow that he'd smashed into one of the patties. So like the look on.
Yeah, what is it? What would that cost?
I don't know, but like only $30 for the burger. But
what they don't tell you, it was 20,000 of the $44,000.
Yeah. So he made 60, like basically 60 plus burgers with the.
Damn.
Oof.
Yeah, but yeah, so he was like, I can't
You
do
guys
it.
got a hell of a deal.
I can't do it in 2 patties. That's just too much. So he did it like in 1 patty. So you bit in and you got like this basically just bone marrow straight up. Then let's see. Like one burger had this amazing sauce that it was they made a mayo with chili crisp and palm sugar and just all this, and then it had a seaweed top, like a piece of seaweed on the burger, awesome crunch. George Motes was there doing like his version, like a menufied version of his famous Oklahoma onion burger. That was fantastic. Then God, there's honestly just too many to like.
It didn't sound like there were no Whataburgers, no Whoppers going on. Just some grade A, real quality burgers. Holman and Finch type style.
Yeah, I'm terrible at smashing burgers. It's just not a skill I have.
What?
I just don't do it at home often. Like I have a 500-gallon offset. I don't use the Blackstone to smash burgers often.
Fair. No, I do this. What Virginia, we did a ton of burgers, and then for Sunday here in Georgia, we did jerk smash burgers.
Okay, yeah.
With cheddar cheese and pretzel buns and some other fun stuff, and I love a good smash burger, man. There's something to it. It just hits different.
Well, Billy said next year they're gonna spread out and have like satellite events, and the idea is they want to raise $2 million next year.
Oh wow!
But like I said, they're gonna have multiple satellite events in multiple cities. So
that's a lot of cities. That's a lot of events at the same time. Because if you think one did 44 right now,
and it was the first event ever.
Yeah. So yeah, okay, that's a 200x.
200x
the amount, but it's doable. It's doable. All right, heck yeah. All right. And also, because we're not done with you yet, how did the 5-course dinner go?
Awesome. Shout out to our friends Ted and Candy. They were just like, hey, you want some help? They showed up and helped me plate a bunch of dishes. So
good old Ted. Ted, we got to get your ass in here, sir.
And that was awesome. It went really well. Shout out to Butter and Cream for handling dessert. Like I just gave them some smoked pineapple, and they turned that into a smoked pineapple upside down cake. So can't be mad. But every element, every dish I did had an element of smoke somewhere in there.
Can we talk about the other thing that has you smoking fruit, or no?
No, not yet. Okay.
Not yet. We'll put that. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, like that.
Okay.
That's gonna be early June.
So we're not far off.
We're
it's
not
announced yet. Or?
No, it really isn't announced yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
all right.
no, that was awesome. So, like, it was really cool to just cook fun stuff, and kind of like a little barbecue adjacent instead of just straight like barbecue platters.
No, I can see that. No, that's wonderful to hear, man. I'm glad. It sounded like it was an absolutely amazing event. The Giving Kitchen does so much, so I know they're very appreciative of those funds, and I'd love to toss my hat in the ring to be a part of trying to help hit that $2 million goal next year.
I mean, really we're gonna need a lot more people, so
we can do some stuff.
Yeah,
I'll do an island burger. Yeah, it'll be really, really good. I'm gonna post my submission sometime in the next couple of days. Like, hey guys, this is what I would do next year. Let's run it. News updates.
You got a lot. You got a lot more news than I do.
We got a little bit. We'll go through it a little fairly quick. For topping it all off, two things with Pops actually. I guess there's an FBI TV show that referenced Bloodsoul's barbecue on in an episode yesterday.
Good old CBS.
Yeah, that was really crazy to see. They were just her alibi. They used the restaurant as an alibi. Like we were at Bloodsoul's barbecue in Compton getting their ribs, and they like questioned her about the ribs to make sure she was actually there. So, shout out to Pops for that. And he also received or posted the first look of his new M&M smoker that's going into the Santa Monica location. It looks badass. It's got a cutout of a 6.4 on the side of it. You know, his favorite ride. So, way to go there. If you are trying,
you can hear Easy in the background.
You can
every time you look into it.
I wouldn't be surprised if they put something like cheeky in there. Yeah, I could see that happening. Bringing it back over to us here in Georgia, Justin and the cats over at Fox also got the first M&M in Georgia. So, like I said, these guys are on a roll.
Yeah, shout out to Justin, Jonathan, and Craig.
You guys get on that list while the the getting is still good. They're cranking out amazing work, and it's worth the wait. Following up that with my man Hunter Grand, King of Swine, Whole Hoggin, the People's Pitmaster, Mr. Brian Furman has added to his SKUs of not only rubs, but is now selling his peach sauce, which if y'all haven't had it,
it's one of the best barbecue sauces in all of barbecue,
hands down.
That's all you need to say. Like,
yeah, it really is, and I'm glad to see it coming back because, 4 or 5 years ago, he had a deal with Heinz, and that thing went so quick. I was able to snag me. I think I still have I saved the box with all the Pitmasters on there. I still have the box with that, but I'm not gonna lie, I used the hell out of that sauce.
The last time I went to his restaurant with the Kroger location, they didn't have peach sauce that day. I'm so hurt.
So get you some of that. It is worth it. And you guys heard us talk about this next bit a little bit ago, that Goldie's actually performed the biscuit test.
So how would you rate? You're more familiar with the biscuit test than I am. How would you rate how they did?
I don't think I could have done it any better.
Yeah.
To be perfectly
honest.
I mean,
I'm talking about how that cooker looked.
It looks great. That design,
yeah,
amateur, medium, semi-pro, pro pitmaster, anybody can roll smoke on that thing. And that is a crazy even cook for single shelf, straight flow. Really, really cook. And out of 54, it only over toasted 4.
And you can
biscuits.
you can throw your pork up there.
Yeah, you can throw your pork there, toss a water pan in there, or if it's a hot, you know me, I love rolling smoke in the rain.
Yeah.
Put your double splits right there to dry out. That I was remarkably impressed.
Yeah.
By how that held. So if you haven't seen it, we'll link it in the show notes.
I mean, and Johnny pointed out, I mentioned it to him, and he pointed out, it's a smaller cooker, so you don't really have to worry about the corners. I was just honestly curious about how the corners are, and even those looked really even. And I looked at it. I did corner and 4 dots out, and I was like, yeah, all of these look right, because sometimes on corners you either get too hot or too cold, right? And that's where guys mess up, and they're just like they're trying to do too much because they won't get the bark set there that they want. No, I was impressed with the results. I've got nothing to say on how they did that, except for maybe did you get the idea after listening to us? Did you hit record before or after the podcast went live? That's all we want to know, guys. Anyway, guys, you're killing it, crushing it. Huge fan. Can't wait to come down and see it for myself. I love this next lady, Miss Sylvie. Y'all don't let the smooth taste fool you and all that smiles. Miss Sylvie is a beast when it comes to rolling smoke. She kicked butt at Jiggy with the Piggy, pulling in numerous first place, topping it all off with first place ribs. Shout out to you, Miss Sylvie. Still crushing them from literally coast to coast, just laying hands on them. This took place in North Carolina. And talking about going coast to coast, have you ever heard of Eats? Got to say it like that because it's a lot. Con? I've heard of Eats, but not the con.
Yeah, I've heard of Eats, so I guess maybe they started their own con now.
Right.
And that is actually happening May 20th and 21st, the same weekend of Memphis in May. We've got some familiar names out there, and it's happening in Santa Monica. We've got Moo's Craft, so the whole crew's going to be out there. I wouldn't be shocked if Logan from Zeph BBQ ends up out there as well. Our old buddy Tom Colicchio will be out there, and many others. And it's a weird event. I feel like it's like a bunch of people just said, "Hey, we've got space, power, and bathrooms. Let's do something." Because they've got like people from like Ali Wong to Tom Colicchio to Moozer. I'm like, this is a very hodgepodge.
Yeah, it's just a food festival thing. Like, so they bring out everybody. It's like instead of just like a barbecue focused one or even like the food and wine, it's more even the food and wine has gotten more eclectic, and you'll see a lot of different cuisines and like barbecue, like especially barbecue events at Food and Wine.
Yeah.
So
and you check out their site, and we'll have the link in the show notes. They've got Los Angeles queued up first, like we said, May 20th to the 21st. But apparently, they're going to be dropping a few other spots. Chicago, they haven't announced dates yet, but Chicago is supposed to be taking place in the midst of the summer, and the fall is going to round out with New York. So this is seems pretty cool. You can go ahead and get your tickets online. It seems to be like a Chase Sapphire type event. So if you have that card, perhaps you can get a deal. But you probably don't need it because tickets are only $30.
that's not bad at all.
That is, you spend more on coffee in a week. So go to this. Everything looks absolutely amazing. They're going to have a lot of food vendors there. So I think it's worth it. If I wasn't already going to be somewhere else, I would go there. They're going to have flavors from afar. Giovanni's Tiramisu, Happy Ice, a lot of really cool cats seems to be a part of it. Like we mentioned, our great friends over at Moo's, Rowdy Rooster, Shake Shack, but you can get that any which way. Go check it out. Go see some of the great people, some of the musical talent. It's a fun time. I wish I could just go and like have a good laugh because Ali Wong's freaking hilarious, and they're also going to have John. I don't know if you're familiar with John from Ghetto Gastro.
Yeah.
They're going to be over there as well.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to be a real chill, fun event. We'll have all the extra deets in the show notes.
So you haven't watched Beef yet at all, have you?
Yes.
You have? Okay.
I did get to watch Beef. I downloaded it for my flight to and from the East Coast the other day, or Northeast the other day.
Okay.
It's a funny show. It is not, well, I take that back. It's not funny.
It's occasionally funny.
It's occasionally funny, but it's a really, really sad show. Like a very sad show. It's not as funny as the trailer makes it out to be. Fair warning. What else do we have here?
So they announced the new barbecue people coming to Windy City Smokeout. I think you mentioned that Horn is going to be there.
Yeah, Matt
Horn.
Horn.
But Three Little Pigs, Blues Hog, Horn Barbecue, Joe's Kansas City Barbecue, Laser Wolf. It's a great name. Great name.
That sounds like a trivia team name.
There's actually a bar down in either Miami or Fort Lauderdale called Laser Wolf.
Okay.
So
Could it be the same?
So
No,
these guys are from Philadelphia.
Oh.
Lexington Betty's and then Mama Fried and Panther City Barbecue are all the new people coming up to Windy City Smokeout. So ton of new people, ton of old cats over there. If you want to listen to a lot of country music and a lot of barbecue, go to Windy City Smokeout.
Yeah, I think. Well, I know Joey was there last year. I don't know if he will be like participating in any capacity this year, but yeah, Windy City, and a few little other bits in that realm. Not really in that realm, but bits of good news. Who doesn't like free? Right now, Mashable is get a free rotisserie attachment if you buy a $5.60. This isn't sponsored by them, but it's a barbecue podcast. It's a nice bit of news. The rotisserie unit's actually really cool. We used it a few times for turkeys, chickens, racks of lamb. We have a whole video. And
you done a porchetta yet?
I have done a porchetta.
Okay.
It is really good. Believe it or not, I make a lot of things, but that's his favorite thing.
The porchetta?
It is very much worth having.
You do know that nodding is not the greatest way to get on the show.
Well, yes.
Yeah, it's because he's not here, but it's one of my absolute favorite dishes, and I actually think the porchetta is what really launched me when I started doing it at like chateaus and wineries and vineyards. That was just always like the showstopper.
Could you do a jerk porchetta?
Yeah, yeah, I think I could. I'd have to tweak the peppers and how I lay them in there, just because of the heat and the longevity of it.
Right.
But yeah.
No. I wonder if you could stuff it like with different things than a normal porchetta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd probably do a mofongo out of sweet plantain to add that sweetness in the middle. You know, maybe one day I'll get to do one of these dinners with all the ideas I want to do. See if someone's interested. Yeah, we'll sort it out. But on that end, we've got two other little bits. 2023 Barbecue Hall of Fame nominees have been announced, and I know who I'm pulling for. I'm pulling for two real cool cats, just personal reasons. But we've got Byron Chisholm, Steve Grady, David Klaus, Fast Eddie. My brother, Mr. Roger Mooking, definitely believes it's time he gets his flowers for what he's done. Flora Payne, Malcolm Reed, Donnie Teal, Darren Worth, Dave Raymond. And those are the top 10. The final inductees should be announced on the 24th, so just after Memphis in May, should know who's going in there. I think it's pretty cool that Malcolm Reed is on the list. I definitely think he's done a fair amount for the barbecue community as far as educational standpoint and getting people involved and excited about it. So well earned, as well as Mr. Roger Mooking, who, you know, Man Fire Food exposed and showcased so many talented people that I think they still would have been discovered, but it would have taken a while longer.
Right.
Than it did.
Is Man Fire Food still going?
No.
Okay. I mean, it's like the way everything's changed with TV and streaming over the past couple of years.
It still airs. You can go and catch it like they do. They now push older episodes in like Food Network Canada or whatever over there. But I would love to see it come back. I think Netflix, you guys should pick it up, you know, shift a few things, but bring that back. Who knows? I've kicked a couple of shows.
Well, it depends. It depends on if Food Network. Well, isn't Food Network under Discovery? So wouldn't they be on Max?
Would they be on Max? It might be.
I don't know.
Max. They could be over there with Selena Gomez learning how to cook. And on to the next news. I'm not able to get her on right now, but I'm doing my best to see if I can give her a ring. Miss Delilah, one of the amazing contestants from season 2 show formerly known as American Barbecue Showdown. That is just now Barbecue Showdown. Miss Delilah is one of the contestants on that show, and she's actually located here in Georgia. She'll be doing a watch party on the 26th when the show airs at her establishment. We will be posting the flyer and have all that other additional information in the show notes. Trying my best. I told her if I was here in town, I would do my best to be there for the watch party, but I do not think I'll be able to make it. I don't think I'll be here. I think they got me shipping out the 25th. So still, check it out. She's so sweet. I've had her food. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's like a hug from your grandma. It's so good. It's so thoughtful, but it's thoughtful and familiar comfort food. And the establishment is run still in the family by her daughter and her son-in-law. Absolutely amazing people. Please, 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 if you're in, about, or around, because they're actually located beside Foxborough at the Works.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so it's worth checking out, guys. Get your orders in now, because I promise you, once people see the stuff that she makes and how well and talented she is, the lines are going to be out the door. So
are they actually in the Works, or are they the Chattahoochee Food Works?
They're in the food works right beside that first food hall building beside Fox.
Okay.
That's where they are.
Yeah, like every time I go over there, I don't think I've actually been in the food hall part yet.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
Go over, you'll see this amazing older woman with a wonderful smile. Tell her she'd sent you. She'll give you a giant hug and scoop of mac and cheese and some delicious cornbread.
And then charge you 20% more.
Yeah, because you told her I sent you, probably. You've got
the last bit of news. So May 27th is the day Barb's BQ is officially opening. So they're doing their
big month in May.
They're opening and then they're doing a brisket class the next day. Like I don't
know because they don't want sleep. Why would you want sleep?
Why would you want sleep?
It makes perfect sense. Like, Hey, shop's open. By the way, we're just going to stay awake. Teach you guys how to make some briskets. Makes sense.
So
shout out to them, man.
Well, what part of Texas are you going to be in?
Believe it or not, I'm all over.
Okay.
So where are they? Where's the setup?
Lockhart.
How's that from Austin?
Not far, like 45 minutes.
That's 40. A lie because everything's an hour from everything in Texas. So it's at least an hour.
No, like Lockhart's within driving distance of Austin.
I'll drive. Like even when we were in Corsano, it was like, hey, you are only like 6 miles away, but it was like it was having us cut across water. I was like, well, we're not doing that, so we're just gonna take this hour drive to do 6 miles. All right. So let's.
6 miles in Atlanta was going to take you an hour 15.
Because I had to get a hotel because of Shaky Knees Fest for the showcases this past weekend, and I had to go 7 miles, and it took 45 minutes. It's like, this is why
I drove to the exact same part of Avondale Estates on Monday and Tuesday. Yeah. I went at 2 p.m. on Monday. I went at around 4 p.m. on Tuesday. It was a
That's 30, a mistake. That was just a mistake.
It was a 30 to 45 minute difference in drive times.
4 p.m. It might as well be 5:30.
Yeah.
Rush hour starts at about 3:30.
Yeah, I remember going to college.
The lunch rush ends,
and it's just like,
you've got about 15 minutes, and then rush hour starts.
Yeah.
I legitimately remember in college leaving, and like, it's 4:30, plenty of time. Plenty of time. Like traffic didn't used to start until, and granted, I've been out of college for well over a decade and far longer. Not going to talk about that. But it was good at like 5:30 is when traffic would hit. Like you could be out, leave at 4, fine. Not anymore. Traffic starts at 3. Just 3 o'clock.
That's the one thing I do miss about pandemic times is how easy it was to get down to
it.
It
was. You got your little paper saying you're allowed to be out because you're in the food service world. Whatever, dropping off meals, just cruising. I felt like Kramer in Seinfeld when they got rid of the lines in the road and just widened the street. That's what it felt like. Like I'm just anywhere I want to be. No one's out here. Let's go. Let's knock out a few questions, shall we?
We haven't done questions.
We haven't because we've been trying to catch people up on so many other cool things happening. But let's go. This one is a question that I don't think I've ever been asked. Yeah. The first one. What's one style of cooking you stray away from but wish you were better at? This came from Mr. Cook Talk.
You've got to see this question. So do you have an answer off the top of your head?
Not all.
Okay.
It's been eating at me. I was like, do I stray away from any? Do you think I stray away from any, Lee? He's shaking his head no for those.
Yeah, sorry. No. Yeah, I mean, to me, that question is more like, are there things you haven't tried that you wish you have?
If I have to put like a blanket statement, it would be baking. I don't bake a lot, despite what you guys might have seen. I've got a couple of tricks left, but I'm not a huge baker.
The biscuit test is not from scratch.
and the drop biscuits you made on the show, also not really like traditional baking, right?
I don't think that constitutes as bake, but that to me is, but I know how to do, I know like certain cakes and pies and like, real good biscuits and certain other, I can do a good bun. Can't do whole bread, but can always get down on some buns. So I would say that, but as far as like cooking styles, no, I don't. I try not to avoid things. Like if I see it, I want to learn more. I get intrigued about it. I don't I mean, I practice it as heavily as everything else, just depending on like what the season of what we'll be doing calls for. That's really what I hone in on.
I mean, one thing I would like to learn, and this is like completely equipment based, because most like your standard kitchen, you can't get a hot enough flame to do it.
Okay.
Like the guys who do the crazy wok cooking.
Oh yeah.
Like that jet engine like flame, like, and then just the speed, and like you watch a guy, like you're like, how is he not spilling any food?
Yeah.
Like that's the most amazing thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that should be constituted as live fire cooking, in my opinion.
I would count that. I would count that as live fire cooking.
Yeah.
I 100% count that as live fire cooking, because that thing sits for 3 seconds. You got to toss all of it.
Done.
Yeah.
All of it. Like and I saw, it's funny you mentioned that. There's this TikTok video of this kid doing wok tricks. I don't know if you've seen it, but he's making a dish. He's flipping it, doing just like what you'd normally see. Then out of nowhere, the spoon comes in, and he like hooks the wok in some weird way with the spoon, and he's spinning the wok with the spoon. I'm like, how? It almost looks like it's levitating. Like, this is, mind you, this kid's maybe 10 years old. I was like, yeah, that's Michelin star very, very soon. Very, very soon. So yeah, I could see that. I would actually like to get better at and practice more like hibachi style cooking. Like, I'm just the surface base of it, because those, I don't think people realize how hot those tables really, really are, and how much skill and timing and prep goes into everything you're about to see.
Sitting like 3 feet away, and you can feel the heat coming off the entire dinner.
Yeah, and imagine being right there in front of it.
Oh, I mean, like
no gloves, no protection, no nothing.
I didn't realize how hot one of those how much heat those Blackstones put off until this past Sunday.
Oh yeah, man, they cranking that propane and propane accessories. It pushes.
Yeah, like, and like it feels like all the heat is radiating off that thing directly in your face.
I was using griddles all weekend, flat tops all weekend, and that coupled with spring finally deciding to show up, and my leather apron, I was downing bottles and bottles of water trying to stay hydrated, because that thing holds. It goes. But Mr. Cook Talk, yeah, hope that answers, man.
What kind of beer would you recommend for using for a beer can chicken? That's comes from a long time ago.
Tropicalia.
You're gonna use something that expensive?
Well, I mean, it's because I know you're going to get the flavor, so I mean, you got to do something, Yeah. It works well, maybe because I haven't had to like buy a pack in a while, but it hits really, really well. Like, especially when you're doing something with a little bit more acidity, like a nice mojo roast.
Yeah. Okay. I could. Yeah. Something with a little more. Yeah.
Well, what are you picking if you've got to pick?
I mean, I'm simple. Just give me like a High Life. Does a Modelo come in cans?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do a Modelo.
Do a Modelo?
Yeah. Like a.
Guys, and you hear that? Cans, don't do a bottle.
Don't do a bottle.
Yeah.
Please.
Please don't do
I
a
feel like
bottle.
we have to, and it's in the name, beer can, but just like, you probably can't start an oil fire in one of the new M&Ms, a grease fire, someone will.
Do you do a tall boy?
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not wasting that on tall boy, because you got to really get it up there in that bird. If you do the tall boy, if you're doing a turkey. I've seen people do beer can turkeys.
Okay. Well, okay. Yeah. I did not know that. I did not know that was a thing.
It is a thing. They
All right.
make beer can turkey holsters, and if you're gonna do it, just go to Walmart, get the can holsters. They're like 2 for $5.
Yeah.
It's fine. It'll stop your bird from tipping over. It makes a lot less of a mess. Like, just go that route. And yes, you do. It is best if you sip or pour a little beer out first, so there's some room for everything to do its thing.
Oh, and throw some of your seasoning in the beer if you can.
Yeah, I personally, and I'm so sad, guys. I've been trying to resuscitate my rosemaries and my herbs. It's
not working.
It's not going.
I mean, the weather has not helped.
This was from the cold snap a couple months ago.
Yeah, but I'm saying
holding. It really hasn't
like
been better.
we've had, it's May and April, and we've had days that have gotten down into what, the 50s?
50s,
Oh, yeah,
40s.
I took the dog out the other morning. It was like 52 degrees.
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening right now?
So I lost the herbs, but I will be doing a special live cook using what's left of them. I'm going to do like a light subtle smoke because I still have some olive wood from season 1 of American Barbecue that I've just been holding and piecing off. So I'm going to do like a nice subtle olive wood, basil, and rosemary smoke, and probably some white fish and some duo chicken.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say throw some fresh herbs in there. If you're gonna use some like whole dry spices, toast them first to wake up the oils, like peppercorns and cumin seeds and stuff. But you could totally
Pro tip: making pastrami brines, toast that shit.
Toast those seasonings.
It makes the world of difference. I'll tell you guys right now, on my bark for my briskets, I toast my peppercorns whole before I hit it, before it gets broken up in my little $6 coffee grinder. Makes a difference, I promise you.
Too much time.
Hey, but
I mean,
I don't do it. I'm not doing pop-ups enough like I used to.
Oh yeah.
But I was still one of those.
Would you do that for a pop-up if you were doing like 10 briskets?
Yeah,
that's insane.
If you saw what I do for the prep on pop-ups, like my time would be cut in half if I stopped half of the prep stuff that I do.
Yeah.
But it's because I do those things that I think that my stuff stands out a bit.
Yeah.
And I guess now, even with the schedule, like, people are coming to the events that we did this past week and like, when's the next full pop-up? Like, I don't know. I'm booked in the next year, but I'm going to try to figure something out. Like I said, me and Howard, we're trying to, I may try to do a restaurant takeover for a night or two.
Well, there's the where you can do the 5-course, the multi-course thing.
Yeah.
They would be down for it.
I get to show out.
Yeah,
I'd probably even fly in some chef buddies, make it a whole thing. It'd be nice. I did answer this, I think, for Bex, but it's Bex Family Barbecue just got a new 500 beef tallow for seasoning.
Absolutely,
always.
Like use beef tallow, the highest like grapeseed oil,
grapeseed or avocado.
I mean, like you can get by with canola or vegetable.
Yeah.
Don't use olive.
Please don't, because I've had people who's like, it's smoking. I was like, it's not high temp. Don't use olive oil. No.
I mean, if you really want to go hardcore, you could do the linseed oil.
You could, but I save linseed for my boards.
Yeah,
and linseed and myrtle I save for my boards. But I love seasoning a new rig. Like, if I had the space, I would just buy new rigs each week just to go through because it's such a therapeutic process.
Yeah.
And doing it right, it just sets you up. It sets your cooks up. It really does. It really does. And let's do, what do we got here? Well, we'll skip the flavor one. What's your go-to seasoning for burger patties? My American Prime rub, legitimately.
I use Goldie's, actually. The Goldie's all-purpose rub for this weekend.
The AP is good.
Yeah.
Is good. Both are available online at 2 different locations. Hit up Goldie's and hit up Phillips Barbecue Co. and you can get them and try them.
And do the TikTok barbecue thing and combine them.
Yeah, just all one hodgepodge, go to town. Pull a Cosmos on us. What is the best method to smoke wild hog and venison?
This is something that I haven't done, so I'm gonna leave it to you on this one.
Low and slow and add fats. They're lean. Wild hog is also a different flavor profile than you would think because they're just eating whatever's out there, different nuts, all this. They're lean, not as fatty as you would really, really think. So be mindful of it, but based often, depending on what you're going to do with the venison too, wouldn't hurt to put some strap some back fat in there if you're grinding it down for sausage. Shout out to Boss. He went hunting and I think he grounded up his venison meat and made sausages out of it. If you're trying to get really, really fancy and want to shift things a little with hog, I cut the fat or I cut the oil with port wine. And that's just part of the prepping meat process, just letting it sit for a little bit, and you'll just see it literally separate and skim off, rinse, and then you can start to dress it and remove and prepare it how you want. It'd be great in stews.
One thing I've seen people, like one friend did that was really good.
Yeah.
Rotisserie the boar leg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah, rotisserie over slow smoke is a good way to like keep the protein moving, and then that way when the fat drips and hits the coals and
flares back up, and hit with a herb brush of lemongrass, fresh oregano. Get you some lemon zest and whatever you're dipping in there, and just really get in there. Micro scoring as well will really help. So a lot of different things. If you want to do a salt cure overnight. But once again, be mindful of how much moisture you're pulling out. You should be good to go. And we'll wrap it up with, are there any meats you don't brine? And that is from Bruised Brews.
I mean, to do a dry brine, you're gonna have to let it sit overnight. I know you season your briskets and let them sit overnight.
Yeah.
I season like an hour before. So I don't dry brine briskets, pork butts, ribs, basically anything that beef ribs, turkeys, anything I'm cooking for that like on a pop-up, I'm not brining wet or dry. Just don't really have the time and space, really.
I understand.
Yeah.
If you did, would you?
Brining turkeys, I would. I don't like pork. I don't think it adds that much.
Yeah, I don't do pork. I don't really do anything.
Because like you're messing with like, as soon as you start dry brining, pork is really, it will absorb a lot of the flavors, and you'll miss out on the porkiness.
Yeah. Yeah. And you want the meat to taste like meat. I get that, but yeah, wet brines, for jerk chickens, turkeys during the holidays, briskets if I'm doing pastrami's. Aside from that, I'm not doing anything with ribs and stuff like that.
Would you consider salting a steak and letting it sit overnight, dry brining, or just would you consider it more just trying to develop dry out the crust and create a pellicule so you could get a better sear?
I would consider it a dry brine.
You would consider,
because it's overnight. Like if you're giving it 24, if you're just saying I put some salt, it's tucked in for an hour. No.
Okay, so yeah, like maybe you don't have to salt the brisket or the steak when you let it sit overnight, and you could just salt it like an hour before.
Yeah, you can just let it sit uncovered in the fridge just for that extra moisture. But I purposely like to salt, put on a rack, tray underneath, let all that moisture fall out so it's not sitting in it. So both sides are going. If you really, 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 really want to get fancy and you've got an extra mini fridge, go get you a $4 USB fan, plug it in there, set it beside your steak on low, and let that air push and hit it as it's salting, so that exterior really dries out.
So I guess we need to link the DIY
aging.
Yeah, I think it was the Meat Hook guys did that video.
Maybe, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll find it. But that's all we've got. That's not bad.
No, that wasn't bad. We will get to part 2 of the pop-up
business,
at some point.
We will.
We've just had so much going on.
It's barbecue month. What do you expect?
Oh yeah, it is barbecue month.
It's barbecue month. It's a lot. We're trying to satisfy your appetite with this amazing barbecue news, and this has been another amazing episode of This Week in Barbecue. I'm your host. Still, not much has changed in the last hour. Rashid Phillips, and joining me still, Mr.
Brian Hull.
Not much of a. You're not an American mess up. It happens.
No. I was an American dumbass for a good hour, but it's fine now.
There have been worse. There have been worse crimes. Trust me. Remember, Crocs are still a thing. Someone made Ugg boots and they're selling like wild cakes. Worse crimes. And still, the voice you hear and face you do not see, Mr.
Lee Garman.
And ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell 2 friends, and as always, be good to one another. Cheers.